guys, welcome back to What's on My Plate. So for tonight I'm making a homemade beef bone broth. I'm going to make it in the crock pot. It's going to be great, and I'm making it just for sipping, like just for lunch, so I can just make a cup of it and sip it. Or if I don't want to continue sipping it, I'm just going to freeze it for use for a meal or something. So let's get started. Okay, so I'm making homemade bone broth. So I bought these bone marrows, bones from the supermarket. So I have 3 of them in the oven, and I'm roasting them at 375 degrees for 30 minutes or until they're browned. And then we're going to put everything in a crock pot, and it's going to be the best bone broth. So we'll get to the next step. Okay, so to make homemade beef bone broth, you're going to need vegetables. So, you know, you can use the vegetables that are on their way out. You don't need to have fresh, because this is all just going to cook in here with the bones for hours in the crock pot. So I'm making this for extra when I need it for my food, and I'm actually making it for just sipping, like for lunchtime, because I think it's very healthy. And that's, you know, what I want to do. So what I'm going to do is just, I washed everything, and I'm even leaving the skin on the carrots. So I'm just going to do like a rough chop, like big pieces. It doesn't matter. So I'm going to do all the carrots, and I'm going to add all of them into my crock pot. And then the celery, I'm going to do the same thing for the celery. Just chop it like, you know, inch size, like an inch or bigger, it doesn't matter. So I'm going to do all of the celery and all of the carrots this way. I'm going to add them to my crock pot. So for my onion, I still have some of the skin on here. It's fine. So I'm just going to cut it, and I'm going to cut it again. And I have the stem on, so it's going to stay kind of together. And so just in like quarter pieces or 1/8 of a piece. It's fine. So there's my onion, and I have garlic. I'm not going to put too much garlic. You don't even have to put garlic, but garlic is good for you. So I'm just going to kind of smash them up, and then I'm just going to chop it in half with the skin on. And this is also going to go in here. Everything is going to add flavor. I am not adding any salt or anything to this. When it's done, I will add a little bit of salt, but I'm not going to do it now. And so I'm just going to finish chopping this up. I'm going to get it in here. My beef bone marrow bones are roasting right now, and then when they're done, we'll get to the next step and I'll show you. So I'll show you my crock pot right now before I add the rest of the vegetables. So here it is, and we'll get to the next step after. Okay, so my beef marrow bones have been taken out of the oven. I cooked them for approximately 35 to 40 minutes at 375, just because I needed them to brown a little more. But you can do it for 30 minutes, it's fine. Just check it, you know, when you're doing it. So now I'm going to take these bones and the juices in here, and I'm going to add it to my crock pot. So I didn't mention before, but this is around 4 pounds of beef marrow bone. So we'll get to the next step. So in my crock pot, I'm going to start adding the bones. Okay. Wow, look at that. So start adding the bones in here. Okay, and then when you get them in here, just wiggle them around the vegetables here. Okay, so I think I'm just going to take some of the vegetables and put them on top here, and then I'm just going to take the juice from the tray. I mean, it didn't yield that much juice, but I'm just going to lift this up here. Okay. 1 second. So here's the juice that came out. Hope you could see that. And then I can scrape the bits from the baking dish out as well. But I'm just going to go ahead, like I said, and just move the vegetables around so the bones are lower. This way we can add the water on top. So I'll just do that really quick. Okay, so everything's ready to go. I have some bay leaves in here. So it's about 2 bay leaves. They're just crumbled. I'm adding that in. Then I'm going to start adding water. So I'm going to add as much water as it takes to cover everything. So we're just going to keep adding the water. And I don't season it till close to the end. So here we are. Just leave room. Just make sure everything's covered. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cook this in my crock pot, obviously. I'm going to cook this on a low for 10 hours. And then I'm going to put it back on for an additional 4 hours. So I want to cook this for like at least 14 hours, 12 to 14 hours. You know, the longer you cook it, the richer it's going to taste. And it's going to be delicious. So this is my homemade beef bone broth. And here, let me see if I can give you a close-up. See, the water's filled to the top. So thank you so much for watching what's on my plate. When this is done, after all those hours, I'm going to strain it, and then I'm going to put it in containers, and we'll get to that step after. Okay, so my bone broth is complete. I cooked it for 14 hours. Then it was on warm, and I shut it off so it can cool off. Now I'm going to remove everything from in here, and I'm going to start straining the liquid, and then I'm going to just put my bone broth in containers. So that'll be the next step. Okay, so let's just start removing all the ingredients that are in here, the carrots, the celery, the onion, and the bones. So I'm just going to remove it all. Okay. So I'm just going to continue doing this, and then when I just have the liquid, I'm going to show you that I'm going to strain it, and that'll be the next step. And it smells delicious, by the way. Okay, so this is everything that I removed out of the crock pot, and this is what's left over. It didn't yield me that much. I did 4 pounds of the bones, and it was 3 large bones. I think that it's best to do 2 batches and just do 2 pounds of bones in each batch that you make, so this way it yields you more. So I'm just going to go ahead and strain this, and then it'll be complete. So we'll get to... Okay, so here we're going to strain all the liquid. And it smells wonderful. Perfect. Okay. And then I'll show you what it looks like. Look how good that looks. This is homemade bone broth, and it's going to be absolutely delicious. So I made this basically for just sipping, just for like a lunch or something, just sip like a cup a day. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put this in a container and see how much it yielded me. So okay, so I just want to show you, I have a lot of these containers here, and they're great. So it snaps on each end. It's spill proof, it's freezer proof, and I'm just going to put them all in here and just stack them up in the fridge. So this will be good in the fridge for about a week. You can freeze it for months if you need to, and you can also put it in ice trays and then freeze them into cubes. This way that if you're making like just a pasta dish and you just need a little bit, then you can go ahead and do that. So I'm just going to show you here. So this fits about a cup. So I'm going to add this in here. Just need a little more to make it a cup. So this is 1 cup so far. So I'm just going to put the lid on and then just start stacking them in my fridge. So I just wanted to show you that. So again, this is really good for you for just drinking and sipping it. And let me just, I didn't tell you, but let me, wow, it's so good. I added a little bit of salt to this. So taste it before you start packaging it up. So I added a little bit of salt, just a little, taste it to your liking, and then just go ahead and fill your containers. And I in the description I always write the recipes down, and I will let you know how much it yielded me. And I did, again, I said 4 pounds of the bones, the marrow bones. I would just do 2 pounds of the marrow bones. This way you can make more, because we're cooking this for a long time and the 2 marrow bones were more than enough, but I did too much. But that's okay, because this is delicious. So thank you again, guys, for watching what's on my plate.